Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jenny. Today's video is going to be a first impression of the ColourPop Spring Collection. I do have at least one item from all of the categories, I believe. And then I do have some other products that I just wanted that I just threw on in here. So I am going to do like a try-on style first impressions, and I'm going to do like a springtime look with this. I'm going to show you what these products are before I jump right into the tutorial and first impressions. The first product is the Super Shock Cheek Blush in the shade Count Me In. It's a really pretty muted corally pink. Next is a product that I have never had before. It is the Jelly Mutt Shadow in the shade Close to You. It does have this little tab thing on the inside. Very interesting texture. This is not the color that I thought it was going to be, which is a little unfortunate. It is very pinky with a golden shift to it. I thought it was going to be a little more neutral, but I'm still going to play with it. Next is the Luxe lipstick in the shade Spring Roll, a really pretty nudie pink, muted nudie pink. And then the last one of this collection, I think, is the Sweet Talk Pressed Powder Palette. This is what the front of it looks like. It is a very, very beautiful palette. And this is the inside, which is also very beautiful. And I like that the names of the shadows are actually on the inside as well. That holographic looks really cool. And these shimmers, I believe, are actually their Super Shock Shadow formula pressed into a palette like this. So that's really, really cool. Really excited to play with this. These other items are not from the spring collection, but I did want to go ahead and get them anyway. The first two are lip liners, and they are in the shade Another Round, which is this like kind of rosy pinky shade, and then Little One, which is a more dusty rose brown shade. The next one is the ColourPop liquid liner, and I have mine in the shade Graceland, which is the white one. Graceland, I don't know. And then the last product is the Volumizing Mascara in the shade Purple Prose, which is the purple one. I really, really wanted a colored liner, and I thought that this would look really pretty with some pinky shadows and stuff. They threw in one more item because my order was late, and that is the ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Catching Feels, a really pretty kind of like brownie nude shade. Really like this actually. So I'm going to go ahead and put on my foundation and my concealer and brows and all that stuff, and I'll be right back to start with the first impressions. So I went ahead and did my foundation and my concealer as well as my brows, and I haven't powdered or anything yet because I do want to go in with this blush because it is more of like a cream to powder. I don't really want to put it on top of powder. So I like this little duo fiber brush that I got in a set from Sephora. I got it for my birthday like 600 years ago, and I'm just going to rub it in a little bit and apply that to the apples, sweeping back. That's really, really pretty. So this blush is absolutely gorgeous. I am going to go ahead and put on some face powder and finish up the rest of my face, like contour and bronzer and stuff like that. And we will come back and see if I need any more blush on top of this once there's a bunch of powder on top. So this is with powder and everything. It did kind of go away a little bit, so I'm just going to dip a little bit back into the blush and add just a tiny bit more on top. Yeah, that layers nicely on top of powder. First impressions, this is a really nice product. I was not surprised that I was going to like this. The color's beautiful. It gives a really nice flush of pink to the cheeks without looking like you've been sunburned or anything. I really, really think this is a beautiful shade. So I guess I'm going to move on to the eyes. Once again, this is the palette that I am going to be working with. I don't really know what kind of look I'm doing. It's going to be a surprise because I've done no planning, I've done no thinking or anything. This just came in the mail today and I'm putting stuff on my face. I did put concealer on my lids as primer and I did set that down with powder. So I'm going to take a fluffy brush and go into the shade Work It and mix it in with a little bit of Dream Maker. And then I'm just going to blend that into the crease and outer V. Now I'm going to go into a little bit of the shade Meadow with that same brush and just kind of put it in the same places pretty much. So far these shadows blend absolutely beautifully. And I love ColourPop shadows, so I knew I would love these, but there's something different about these. I feel like they look smoother on my eyes than other palettes do. Not that the other ones don't, but you know what I mean. There's just something about this palette that's a little different than the rest. These are very beautiful shadows, and I'm liking the way that this is turning out. With a smaller brush, I'm going to go into the shade ICYMI. I have no idea what that means. And I'm just going to put this right on the outer portion of the eye. Actually, I think I'm going to take that shade all over the lid. So I'm just going to take my finger. I'm going to pat this all over the lid. I'm going to take a little bit of Dream Maker, that light pink, and just kind of pat it on the inner portion of the lid just to kind of brighten that area back up a little because it darkened it up more than I thought it would. So I guess now what I'm going to do is go in with the Jelly Much shadow and see what this is all about. I don't know if you're supposed to apply this with your finger or what. Oh, here we go. Oh my, that's some sparkle, man. Wow. This is definitely not the color that I was expecting, which is really, really disappointing. I thought it was going to be more of like a pearly white kind of shade with some pink in it. I guess I picked the wrong one, but don't get me wrong, this shade is beautiful. Just far more pink than I thought it was going to be. Because here's a swatch of it by itself without the shadowy background. So it does have quite a bit of pink in it still. But this is really, really pretty. The formula of this seems great. I would love to try some other ones in different shades after I wear this one and see if it's going to crumble or flake or anything, but that looks really pretty on the eyes. So I'm actually going to go into just like a touch of, what is this shade? Feel Free, and just run it like right here along the outer portion of the eye, just super lightly. So I think what I'm going to do is take the shade, what is this? Side to Side. Yeah, that's definitely a Super Shock shadow right there. Really, really pretty though. And I'm going to just lightly pat that on top of this to kind of lighten that shade up a little bit. Wow, that's intense. I like it. There is some fallout, like shimmer glitter fallout, and I can't tell which shadow it is. I don't know if it's the Jelly Much or if it's the Super Shock in that palette, but I just wanted to do this. For the most part, that's staying completely put, so that's really, really nice. So this is all that I am going to do to the top, and I think what I am going to do now is I'm going to try to use this white liner and just do like a little baby wing and see what I can do with that. Please don't judge me, I'm not great with wings. So first off, this is a felt tip, and it's not bleeding, so that's good. So the problem that I'm running into is that once this white touches an eyeshadow, it then like turns into that color. See, like, I don't know if you can tell, but the tip of this has like a peachy tone to it now where I got it in the eyeshadow. So I feel like I look absolutely insane and this may not have been a great idea. I don't know how I feel about this quite yet. It doesn't look horrible and it'll depend on how it wears on whether or not I pick up a different shade. So I went ahead and made the wings a little bigger and I think it made it worse, so I'm going to put the liner down and I don't know, guys. I just don't know how I feel about it. I'm going to try with some other shadows. Maybe ColourPop brand, maybe not ColourPop brand, and just see how that goes because I don't like how this looks at all. Let me know how you wear white eyeliner, if you have white eyeliner, because this is just not how I was expecting this to turn out. So I did go ahead and take those mattes and put it on the lower lash line, and I'm going to go ahead and curl my eyelashes and put on my regular mascara on the top. So now that I have the top mascara on, which was the ColourPop BFF Volumizing Mascara in the shade Black on Black, I am now going to go into the other volumizing mascara and Purple Prose and put that on the lower lash line. So I feel like my pretty spring look that I was going for turned into something not that anymore. I feel like I'm like going to a rave or something. So that's what the bottom mascara looks like. I don't hate it. I don't know that I like it with this look. I feel like I look like a psychopath right now. But there's no going back. This is my look now, guys. So now I'm going to put on some lip liner. So I think I'm going to use the pinkier one, which is another round. So that is the lip liner. I think it looks really pretty. So now I am going to top it with the cream lipstick in the shade Spring Roll. And so here is my completed look. I don't think it turned out absolutely hideous, but it's not the greatest look I've ever done, that's for sure. The products themselves seem to perform really, really well, though. I am very happy with them. So now I'm going to pop on some highlights since I forgot to, and I'll be right back. So as a whole, I feel like all of these products performed pretty well, except for the eyeliner I'm pretty iffy on. I'm going to look into my mirror close up at that glitter shadow. So far, it looks really, really pretty. It seems to me, texture-wise, it reminds me a lot of the Stila Glitter and Glows without being on a stick. It seems like that's the kind of formula that they're going for, because that's what it looks like on my lids. I like the way that this mascara looks. I like the purple on the bottom lash line. I think that that would be a really fun way to play with color, like at work or something, when you can't do like a super bold eye look. The lipsticks are very pretty, the blush is beautiful, the shadow palette itself is absolutely gorgeous. The lip liner was really, really nice too. The only thing that I'm like on the fence about is that eyeliner still. I will definitely do an update video, like in my monthly favorites, if it was bad or in between, which I'm expecting I'm probably going to end up in between. Oh, excuse me. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be like in between on the eyeliner just because, I don't know, the way that it applies on top of shadows is not great, based off of this one time. Of course, all of this I'm just trying for the first time, so I can't give full in-depth detail on that. But as far as first impressions, I'm pretty impressed with it, and as a whole, I'm not hating this look. I think I definitely could have done something different here and there, but as a whole, I'm pretty happy with it. So that has been my review of the ColourPop Spring Collection. I hope that you found it helpful, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you would like to subscribe, please feel free, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.